I've been playing Fallout 4 since it released. I've put probably a couple hundred hours into the game by now, but somehow, I haven't even attempted to play on survival difficulty yet. It's always been something I've wanted to do, but I just never got around to doing it. When I started to see videos popping up on YouTube digging into the game's settlement mechanics, I had an idea. What if my first playthrough of Fallout 4 on survival difficulty was rebuilding the Commonwealth? And what if I put it on YouTube for y'all to see? So today we begin the project of rebuilding the Commonwealth in Fallout 4 survival difficulty. I named myself Mystic and did something with my special stats. Honestly, I boosted charisma as high as I did so that I could get out of some fights, and intelligence as high so that I don't have to take Idiot Savant to get decent experience. The rest of my stats I just put into endurance, agility, and luck. I don't know what weapons I'm going to be using in this playthrough, but health, crits, and VATs are always going to be helpful. I stepped into the freezer, watched my husband get shot, and got out of the vault. After helping Codsworth on his neighborhood watch, I got to scrapping. I met Dogmeat and got ready to fight the mole rats that usually pop up here. Except they didn't. To fast forward a little bit, the mole rats never actually did show up. I don't know if it's a glitch or if I just got really weird luck every time I've played this game before. Like, I've never not had mole rats show up here. So I don't know if this is a glitch or if it's just sometimes on some seeds it doesn't happen. Although honestly, is it a bug or is it a feature is kind of the slogan for Bethesda Game Studios. And that's part of why I love these games. I made my way to the Museum of Freedom to meet up with Preston and the Minutemen, and died. I won't be going over every time I die, but just know that I die a lot in this playthrough. I usually play this game on normal, so survival difficulty is a bit of a jump for me. But honestly, I've played this game so much that I'm really enjoying the added challenge. Next time I'm more careful, and I make it to Preston in one piece. I grab the power armor and the minigun, and honestly the death claw is not even that big of an issue. I have a feeling power armor is going to be vital to surviving this run. We make it back to Sanctuary, and I take a quest from Preston Garvey. I figured if I'm going to be rebuilding the Commonwealth anyway, might as well side with the Minutemen. They're also just generally my favorite faction. I side with them on most playthroughs of this game. That said, I will absolutely be joining the Brotherhood of Steel later to get access to that power armor. At some point along the way, I got an illness and needed antibiotics, so I figured I would make a trip to Diamond City. Along the way, I ran into Wolfgang trying to get caps out of Trudy. I was able to talk him down and convince him to leave. That high charisma is already getting me out of fights. Out of curiosity, I decided to follow Wolfgang to see where he went, and saw him step on a landmine. I'd make fun of him, but honestly I had way more embarrassing deaths in this run, so I can't judge. I made it to Diamond City and picked up Piper as a companion. As fun as it's been exploring with Dogmeat, I figured a human companion who could actually use a gun would probably be a little bit better. I also pretty much never use companions in this game, so I figured given my high charisma skill, it'll be a fun change of pace. I got my illness cured and made my way back to Sanctuary. I decided to take some time to turn it into a better home for my settlers. I made a bunkhouse with sleeping quarters on the top floor and a little workout area on the bottom. I then went and made a water purification area. Purified water from settlements is honestly one of the easiest ways to make money in this game, because any extra purified water that the settlement doesn't need gets put into the workbench that you can then grab and sell to vendors. And with the river right there in Sanctuary, it's a great place to build up water purifiers. I built as many as I could, and I will be coming back throughout the run to add to that number. I then decided to build up Sanctuary's defenses a little bit. I built a gate at the front entrance to the town, with some walls, some guard posts, and some turrets. Lastly, before heading out, I decided to build a power plant and set up a recruitment beacon. I didn't like all the generators just being right there by the water purifiers, and I wanted them all in one central location. Now that's not to say I built the power plant in the center of town. No, that would just make too much sense. I built it back in the cul-de-sac. For some reason, I always put a power plant here and then regret it when I have to string wires across the entire town. But I don't learn from my mistakes, apparently. We'll come back for a proper tour of Sanctuary later, but for now I've ventured back out into the Commonwealth. I decided to head to Ten Pines Bluff and help out the settlement. Honestly, at this point I'm mainly doing it because I want to take Preston along as my companion, and you have to do at least one Minuteman settlement quest before he'll come along with you. I'll build up the settlement eventually, but not right now. They sent me to the Corvega assembly plant in order to deal with Jared and his raiders. Fun fact about this mission, The only one you actually have to take out in here is Jared himself. So I fought through the raiders on the upper floors, and when I found Jared, I hid in a corner and took him out from a distance. Then I turned around and went back to Ten Pines Bluff and told him that, yeah, I had totally dealt with the raiders. They decided to join the Minutemen, and I made my way back to Sanctuary. Once I get back, I'm elected General of the Minutemen by a unanimous vote of Preston. Yeah, apparently he's the only official Minuteman left, so he can just say, yeah, this random pre-war woman is definitely cut out to lead our organization, and no one can tell him no. Now that I have the beginnings of my own personal army, I continued fixing up Sanctuary a little bit before heading up the road to Red Rocket. While I was scrapping at Red Rocket, I heard some gunfire in the distance. I thought, that sounds like it's coming from Sanctuary. Are they being attacked? Sure enough, they were being attacked, so me and Preston went back and helped defend the town. Honestly, in all my years of playing this game, that is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I don't know, there was just something organic about just hearing gunshots in the distance, being like, that's probably coming from our settlement, and then running over to help. And with this playthrough, I've been spending a whole lot more time in these settlements, so I'm getting a whole lot more attached to these settlements as well. I almost feel like this is the way Bethesda meant for this game to be played. The only problem was that before the DLCs, the base game really didn't have much going on with the settlement mechanics, so a lot of people kind of ignored it. I know I did, and if that's also you watching this, go back and play through and focus on settlements. It's a lot of fun. For context, I'm not using any mods, I'm just using what was included in the base game, the DLCs, and if anything was added in the next-gen update. If you get the complete edition of Fallout 4, you'll have all the same stuff I do. I'm probably going to come back after I finish this playthrough and do a modded version, but for now I wanted to see what could be done with just vanilla Fallout 4. Anyway, I went back to Red Rocket and started building it up. I can't do what I really want to do here yet. My plan is to make this eventually kind of a trading hub, but I can't set up any shops yet because I'm not a high enough level to get the next rank of local leader. So for now I just set up a little house and some resources for settlers, a gate and some fences, and a recruitment beacon. Might as well go ahead and start getting settlers here for when I can actually build the shops. Then I headed out to claim my next settlement at Starlight Drive-In, but I think I'll save that for the next video. For now, time for a tour of Sanctuary. But before the tour, if you've been enjoying this video, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe so you know when the next one drops. So here we are, welcome to Sanctuary Hills. As you can see, we've got a gate and a wall protecting us, a little guard post up there. Come in the gate, and here we've got some machine gun turrets. Sanctuary Hills is a very safe community. Right here up front, we have some vacant properties ready to be turned into stores, houses, whatever I decide to make them. And then we've got this currently empty building here, which is going to be our shopping center. I'm going to put some shops in here, maybe a restaurant, but I really do need to get the next level of local leader in order to actually put anything in here, so it's kind of empty for now. Moving up, we've got a little communal area here with some workbenches, a place to cook. I'm thinking about turning this into the town hall eventually, but that's not really set in stone. For now, it's just kind of a communal sitting and working area. And across the street here, we have my house. Sheffield does like to hang out in here quite a bit because he's a fan of Nuka-Cola, and I do have a Nuka-Cola fountain. Honestly, I'm out of town as much as I am in town, and I like Sheffield, so it doesn't really bother me. I also have my power armor station out here where I work on my power armor, upgrade it, fix it up, all of that. I decided to keep this at my house instead of over at the communal area because it's for my power armor specifically, and not really a thing the community would be using. Figure there's no point in cluttering up the communal area with my junk. Continuing on, we have the bunkhouse. Now this is probably the building I'm the most proud of in this town. As you can see, we have a little workout sitting area here, even a little water fountain. I figure we make so much purified water we can set one of these bad boys up. And then upstairs here we have the sleeping area. We only have sleeping bags for now, but I'm working on getting the steel in order to actually build some beds to make it a little bit nicer here. And then we have this unfinished third floor up here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm thinking about building onto this and kind of making it like an apartment building instead of just a bunkhouse eventually. But I'm going to need a lot of materials in order to do that. For now, it's just kind of a roof area. And now if we go back to the back of the town, you'll see the power plant that I had built earlier. We have some generators inside and a windmill on the outside all powering up the town. Right now we definitely make more power than we need. But I'm kind of trying to future-proof this so that I can really light up the town and give it power and, I don't know, make it fancy. My idea here for Sanctuary is to kind of make it one of the main towns of the Commonwealth. So for that, you need a lot of power. Something else you need a lot of power for is water purification. And we have a whole water purification area over here. I've built some docks here around our water purifiers so you can kind of get out to them. We only have 4 purifiers for now, but I will be adding to that as time goes on and I get more materials. And then last but not least, here behind the communal building, we have our little farm area. I decided I wanted to plant just a variety of crops here so that the residents of the town could have a variety of foods to eat. But that's Sanctuary Hills, at least for the time being. It's definitely going to be growing throughout this series. I don't know how long this series will be or how many episodes there's going to be in it. I'm honestly just having a lot of fun and just want to keep going. So it might be a pretty long series. That said, these videos might be a little bit further apart, and there's definitely going to be other videos in between them. It just takes a long time in order to make one of these, and I have another job right now, so it just takes time. But that's all for this video. Next week I'll be back with my finale on my Avowed playthrough. And after that, I'm going to be moving to an every other week schedule so that I can make better content and not drive myself insane from the workload. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye!